Um, Welcome to live chat. Remember to watch out for privacy, whatever. Okay, so I just made like a 10-minute long live stream, like just to test the waters and like see how it's like to get like the orientation right. So this is much better. I don't know. I don't like videos to be that way. That's kind of weird. And the light behind me is kind of magical and weird. I hope it's fine. Anyway, okay, so I'm not sure if we should talk about exactly the same stuff that I just did talk about, because that video maybe didn't process properly, or we continue to like new different topics. Let's see what this brain comes up with. Anyway, what I want to say in any case is that I'm glad that life has been going in a way that eventually I ended up being able to make videos again. So I'm happy about that. And why is that? Like, I miss the community, the feeling of like expressing your thoughts and feelings, and like other people like validating it and like sharing their thoughts and ideas, and it's just an awesome, wonderful feeling whenever it is, when you feel seen by other people. So that is wonderful, and I just feel like there's so much going on in the world that I just like have to get these thoughts out, at least somewhere. That like when the technological singularity arrives, then I can say that like, yeah, I did something. I did something. I at least like talked about what's coming. Um, so yeah, we live in a really trippy time. The last video I made, I talked about like two things that keep me going. So one of those things is like the human connection, like this very human hope that at some point in the future, hopefully near future, you will have other people around you who like feel and understand you, and like you can share your pain and your thoughts and your joy and everything with them, like this human hope and need for community and understanding and to be seen. So that is like one of the things that keeps me going, and I think pretty much for everyone, being a really introverted human being, like I thought for a while that like I do not need anyone, and like in a way it's true, like I can survive without other people. Like you can survive, but you can't thrive. Oh my god, that sounds so cringe. Like something that you would like put on a poster. Like you can survive, but it's not really thriving. All right, whatever. So that's one point. Like you want human connection to be understood, seen, whatever. I think to some extent that's pretty much true for almost everyone, unless the brain is like super different or whatever. So, but the second thing that keeps me going is that I want to see the future. I want to see what will happen in 1 year. I want to see what the world will be like in 5 and 10 years. I want to see how fast artificial intelligence will develop. I want to see this transformational time in human history. Truly, there could have been so many other times where existence would have been just so boring. Like people are born and they live and they have children and they continue on, and like during their life, like almost nothing happens. In the agriculture era, for example, like you just were raised up and you did things with cows, whatever, farming, right? And like nothing changed. But then came like the Middle Ages and iron metalworking, and like then the Industrial Revolution, then the microchip revolution, then the internet and everything. And so the growth of technology, the complexity, the brain power, and energy consumption, GDP, everything you can possibly imagine by every metric, we just, and like now we are like at this point. And if you know anything about exponential growth, then like for example in linear growth you go 1 2 3 4 5, and in 30 steps you're in 30. In exponential growth you go like 1 2 4 8 16 32 64, etc., and in 30 steps you're like at more than a million, like comfortably over a million. And I wonder often, like, what is it, like Moore's law, for example, like, what is it that, like, makes it happen? What makes it so that, like, computers get, like, twice as smart, twice as fast in, like, 1 or 2 years? Every 1 or 2 years, they get, like, twice as good. Like, what is that? Like, obviously, we understand, we know, like, market pressure and everything, and if you develop better when you get lots of money, okay, that's driving it. But like, it has been so consistent. And if you graph and plot all these things, then you see that we truly are at this very, very crucial moment that within 5 years, 10 years for sure, our world will be completely different to what it is right now. So like the best I can do, I guess, is to say that like prepare for it, be like aware of it, and pay attention. Like I was watching this podcast with Sam Altman. Like I haven't watched Joe Rogan podcast in forever, but like in this Joe Rogan podcast I saw, he was talking with Sam Altman, like the CEO of OpenAI, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch that, like because I want to understand what the human being who is developing like the top artificial intelligence systems, like what is that dude thinking, like how is he thinking about the world and looking at it. And I can say that certainly there could be way worse people running that operation. So in a sense, I'm happy that we are not like in the worst possible world. It's definitely good. He is the type of person. He says that like once we create artificial general intelligence, or you might as well call it super intelligence by their definition, like what when they plot these like 5 steps of artificial intelligence to general intelligence finally, what they're really talking about is like super intelligence. And that's kind of funny to me, but I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it to prepare people, so when we finally get to that point, like level 5, what they call, then we have like legit super intelligence. And that will change the world profoundly. But anyway, what his thoughts are, he says that the fruits of this AI innovation and endless abundance and availability of like just thinking power and electricity and food and anything you could possibly need will become so abundant. And he says that all of this should be shared equally among every human being on the planet. And so I'm looking at that and I'm thinking like that's fine. That's totally fine with me. The company is getting bigger and bigger, so I imagine it's like kind of complicated to like to get a handle on all of that, because as it grows there's more and more things to deal with. Like you build a bigger and bigger ship, and there's a bigger and bigger chance that something goes wrong, or if there's a leak somewhere or whatever. Definitely since like 1 year or 2 years ago, there's much more controversy and everything around the company, because like obviously the deal they did with Microsoft is also insane. That Microsoft gave them like huge amount of money, and OpenAI basically promised that they will make Microsoft a certain amount of money, a lot of money, billions, billions, and after those billions are made, Microsoft will leave the company, and OpenAI can do whatever they want with their GPT systems. And so for me, that sounds like kind of good, cool. Uh, Definitely better than like Microsoft like owning it like forever. So this kind of I think works. I hope. We have no idea, of course, when it actually happens, like how all of it will look like. But yeah, there's hope. I think definitely we do not live in the worst possible world. We live in quite a good world. I was just watching a video about like the fine tuning problem. So essentially, if you really think about it, just us being alive is like a fascinating breakthrough and revolution. Like the conditions for conscious minds and beings to evolve are just so specific. If anything was slightly different, like the strong nuclear force or the electromagnetic force was any weaker or stronger, or gravity was weaker or stronger, then like or chemistry couldn't exist, for example, or the speed of light would be different, then conscious minds couldn't exist, or maybe they could, of course we don't know, but conscious minds in the sense that we are right now is really specific, because you look out in the universe and like for the most part everything will kill you, but as well it has created like a comfortable home for us, a womb, Carl Sagan, if anyone knows, one of my favorite humans of all time. It's just an awesome human being. He gave an example of like the Earth being like an apple. Then the atmosphere of the Earth would be the thickness of the apple, like what you call it, the apple peel. So that's interesting to think about it. What separates us from the vast expanse of outer space is just the apple peel. Um, that's interesting to think about, and of course the endless possibilities. The more we learn about the world, and how profoundly strange place we find ourselves in. Um, I think one tragedy, like of course, I hope that AGI will enable us and help us to fix our brains and everything like that, and to get our egos in check and all of that. Um, that is what I look forward to, really, to just be pure consciousness and to experience like so much more things than we can experience now as just regular human beings. Although the things that we can experience as normal human beings is profoundly underrated. If you just be in the moment and just let yourself be free of like all the nonsense and all the worries and whatever, and just think about what is going on around you. uh it is quite liberating. And like I just talked about like outer space and stuff and whatever, but like people have this idea that like we are these small human beings on planet Earth, and like then there's this vast expanse of space like out there, and like there is this separateness, this feeling of separateness. But this separateness is an illusion. It's not real. We are as much part of the universe as any star or galaxy. It's the same thing. It's the same stuff. We are literally made of the same stuff that stars are made of. We are the same thing. Uh, and when you truly get that and understand that, that is like super liberating and wonderful. My back pain is quite intense and uncomfortable, but I think it was worthwhile to make this video and to talk and stuff and to just share my thoughts. We can of course talk about suffering too. So there is this one way of thinking, like we just talked about, like us and then atmosphere and then outer space, but there's also us and then like your skin and clothes and air and then other people, and this feeling of separateness, when actually at the end of the day we are also the same thing. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all the same thing. We are all the same mind at the end of the day. Of course, every human being runs on like a different persona, like a different character. This is my age. This is my name. This is my job. Whatever. But beneath all that, you wipe all that away, and what you're left with is just consciousness, experience of like being alive, what it feels like to be here now. And that feeling is something that we all have in common. And it's comforting when you finally get there. But of course, another tragedy I will mention, I think, is that we evolved in a way that there is this separateness. Like I look at the animals like bonobos or whatever, the monkeys, and like they are not aggressive with each other. Like the way they solve problems is not by taking a stick and like hitting someone. The way they solve problems is like they hug and like they just chill and relax. And I wonder like how cool would it have been for us to evolve from them and to have so much less of this, I don't know what's called like reptilian brain or whatever, this aggressiveness, this defensiveness, all of this stuff. Like I so want to get rid of it. And I believe we can. But it's a process, it's a journey. You can also have breakthroughs in just now, or now, or now, or now, or a little bit later, or in a minute, or an hour, or a day. But they will happen if you keep going. And of course, this is a whole other topic about choice and free will, like how much of the things that we do can we really choose. I would say not a lot, if anything, because free will, the definition, okay, let's go over it. The definition of free will is an agent's ability to make choices free of any constraints. So immediately, this just does not apply to us, because agents making choices free of any constraints, our entire existence is based on constraints. and we're all tied to this world with strings and stuff, with everything, entangled with everything, and all of that influences us. Of course, we also influence the outside, but the outside influences us. So there is no way how we can just take it away and say you made choices. Anyway, that's a long topic. I think what really matters, people focus a lot on like choices and stuff. I don't really care about that. What I care about is just the experience. Like, if there's anything real, then that is the experience of feeling alive, feeling joy, feeling pleasure, feeling pain, feeling sadness, all of it. Like, that is real. Even if choices aren't real or made by you, it's a journey we go through, and like that is real and legit. And I hope that we all can become happier, and I hope that we manage to like get it right, and not blow our world up, and to get to a place where everyone can be much happier than we can imagine. All right, so we talked about quite a lot of stuff. I hope there were some interesting thoughts in here. And of course, thank you so much for watching. All the best. Leave me your ideas and thoughts. I'm very interested to hear. It's been a while. And again, thank you. All the best. Take care.